I was inspired by my recent video on Anthony Burrell in a different facet, which you should check out. This inspiration led me to create a multi-part series focusing on the achievements and careers that the cast of Dance Moms, both the girls and the mothers, have built since leaving the show. While I might reference some of their career activities during their time on the show, this video primarily examines the careers of each Dance Mom member after their departure from the show. So, if you are looking forward to hear about the other Dance Moms cast members coming up in this exciting series, please subscribe. Let's get into it. I am so excited for the series because I love Dance Moms. I've been watching it since it first ever aired on television. We are going to start off this series and video off with Dance Mom Melissa. Melissa is the mother of Maddie and Mackenzie, of course. Melissa Sulo, now known as Melissa Gisoni, is 56 years old, being born on June 13th of 1968 in the state of New York. Melissa's husband, Greg. Melissa and Greg have been married since 2013. Gregory Gisoni is a very successful man, starting with his 34 years of experience as a nuclear engineer. Dance Moms, of course, did not provide any opportunities for Greg directly. His career as a nuclear engineer has blessed him with the leadership roles like being the vice president of operations of delivery and being the director of engineering for nuclear automation. Back to Melissa. Melissa lives bi-coastal, living in California and in Pittsburgh. If you listen to the podcast, Melissa lives in two places because she's always supporting and helping Maddie and Mackenzie, who live in Los Angeles, California. All right, so now that we got that little background out the way, let's dive right into Melissa Gisoni and her resume since her departure from Dance Moms. Melissa's career evolution since stepping out of the reality TV spotlight, leveraging her Dance Moms fame to create engaging professional life. We're going to start her impressive resume off with 3 dynamic podcasts that she has created alongside her friends and castmates from Dance Moms. The first one being Because Mom Said So. Because Mom Said So launched in the year 2020. On this podcast, Melissa, Holly, Jill, and Kelly discuss a wide spread of things from their favorite stores and foods to telling stories about their kids when they were younger. They played games on the podcast and just gave their opinions and advice and just overall getting to hear the moms' personalities and things that we never knew about them. Because Mom Said So quickly became a fan favorite amongst listeners. Because Mom Said So wrapped up in March of 2024 after its successful run, and that was when Dear Dance Moms was birthed. Following the success of Because Mom Said So, the moms Kelly, Holly, Jill, and Melissa transitioned from Because Mom Said So to their new podcast titled Dear Dance Mom. Dear Dance Mom launched in 2023, and the point to their random transition in podcast was because the moms wanted to focus directly on fans and the engagement of fan questions. So the plot of this new podcast, Dear Dance Mom, features questions sourced from fans directly, but overall they still talk about the same widespread of things like on Because Mom Said So. This new podcast also features a couple different aspects that Because Mom Said So didn't, which for starters, adding a Patreon into the mix. In the Dear Dance Mom Patreon, you can tune into for extended episodes, and they also host their own live meet and greets with fans through there as well. Holly's recent departure from this podcast. All right, so moving on to Pillow Talk, the newest addition to Melissa's podcast lineup on her exciting resume. Pillow Talk is co-hosted by Christy, Kelly, Jill, and Melissa. And in this unique podcast show, actually are recapping the latest new era Dance Mom show. This concept is so exciting and fun to me because this is a watch party sleepover style type format. So if you're like me and not interested in the new Dance Moms new era show, this Pillow Talk podcast kind of got me a little excited personally. Only because I know the mom's commentary is going to be hilarious and I just can't wait to tune in myself. Melissa's 3 podcasts on her resume have not only been extremely popular, but also attracted significant sponsorships and advertising deals across the platform. The next category on Melissa's resume, we're going to move on to all things YouTube, influencers, those type vibes. Melissa Gisoni is absolutely flourishing in her influencer journey. Countless brand deals and sponsorships under her belt on the podcast and individually on her own platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and her next big addition that's on her resume, which is her YouTube channel, Melissa Gisoni 13. Melissa joined the YouTube platform in 2019, starting out that journey with her best friend BP. They did hair videos together, and cooking videos and Q&As, just cute videos playing games, and it slowly transitioned to her solo YouTube career where she continued cooking and baking videos. The cooking and baking videos slowly turned into all things dance mom Q&A videos where she shows like old Mackenzie and Maddie costumes from the show, and she has a pretty chill YouTube channel. Through the different chapters of Melissa's YouTube posting career, in the last 5 years, Melissa has been able to grow her channel to over 100,000, and the number is still rapidly growing. Melissa currently, in my opinion, has a vibrant and active social media presence and YouTube channel, and adding on the individual brand deals and sponsorships, she has certainly embraced the fun side of influencing after her dance mom's departure. Moving down on Melissa's resume, we stop at her notable guest appearance on WBZZ, a prominent Pittsburgh radio station where she discussed her time on Dance Moms and what she's up to in her current life. During this interview, she not only shares her personal experiences, but she also shared her 5th project that's on her resume, and that's her latest business venture. So Melissa's next business venture, that's all things jewelry. Melissa started a jewelry collection with Talisa's Jewelry called Mommy Mel. Through this partnership with this collection, I'm not exactly sure how it's doing in sales or how hands-on Melissa is with this project, but it looks like the Mommy Mel collection is full of personalized engraved necklaces, customized bracelets, and birthstone charm necklaces designed for trendy, fashionable mothers. Moving on to the last category of Melissa's resume, and that is all things fundraisers, feeding the homeless, sponsorships, nonprofit, anything helping people category. So closing off Melissa's resume, a lot of us who are Dance Mom fans already know, but Melissa is committed to community service and helping unhoused people. From the podcast, Melissa is always talking about how she is putting together food and toiletry bags for unhoused individuals. Excitingly, Melissa has actually recently became an honorary member on the board of directors for the Real Youth Foundation, which is huge because what Melissa already does for the less fortunate is in line with the Real Youth Foundation. They also provide community support to those who need it, providing a bag of lunch, toiletries, dog food, water of course, and even providing Christmas gifts and still way more. Melissa has also closely partnered with many other different organizations such as the Unity Project, Dancers Against Cancer, and a foundation called My Friend's Place, where they help support youth experiencing homelessness. Maddie and Mackenzie have also done some sponsorship and fundraisers for My Friend's Place as well. You have to admit that Melissa has this entrepreneurial spirit, mindset, and drive to explore new opportunities in her life's journey. Melissa Gisoni seems to be dedicated to her kids, the community, and yeah, that wraps up our resume on Dance Mom Melissa and what she's been up to since Dance Moms. And I know that this was a pretty short video, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you click that subscribe button. But yeah, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and God bless.